Hello student, good morning. Welcome to Panda Sir's virtual class on microeconomics. Student of class 11th commerce. So yesterday, means in our last class, we were discussing about elasticity of demand, the phenomenon and the formula that is used to calculate elasticity of demand. Once again I remind here, elasticity of demand is nothing but the degree of responsiveness of quantity demand to a given change in its price. Once again, the degree of responsiveness of quantity demand of a goods to a change in its price. If for a given change in price, the change in quantity demanded is more, then we say that the elasticity of demand is high or the goods is highly elastic so as far as the demand is concerned. And when for a given change in price the responsiveness or the change in quantity demanded is very low, then we say it has a lower degree of elasticity or it has less elasticity. So we will discuss the formula and we will take it forward before discussing the factors that affect price elasticity of demand. So, in our last class, you know that the formula used to evaluate or to calculate elasticity of demand is percentage change in quantity demanded by percentage change in price. If we turn it, then it would become percentage change in quantity demanded is nothing but del Q upon Q into 100 whole upon percentage change in price is nothing but del P upon P into 100. So when we solve this, then what we are getting, that is we can cancel the same thing that is in numerator and denominator, that is into 100. Then the remaining thing is del Q upon Q upon del P upon P. You know all that A by B whole divided by C by D can be written as A by B multiplied just reciprocal of C of D, C by D, that is D upon C. The same thing if applied here, then what we are getting, del Q upon Q division turned into multiplication, and here we have to take the reciprocal of the denominator, that is del P upon P. The reciprocal is P upon del P. So that if we interchange the places, then what we are getting, del Q upon del P into P upon Q. So this is the final formula. That means you can use both the formula. If percentage change in quantity demanded and percentage change in price is given, then you would use this formula to calculate price elasticity of demand. Or when the price and quantity is given before change and after change, then you have to use this formula, that is del Q upon Q, del P into P upon Q. So this is all about how to calculate elasticity of demand. When I will today I am going to send you some of the numericals, and when you practice those numericals, then you will get acquainted with the process. So now coming to the factors that affect price elasticity of demand. Students, you know very well that to a given change in price, the quantity demanded, that is change in quantity demanded, is different in different goods and services. So, just I told you, if the responsiveness or quantity change in quantity demanded is very high, then we say it has a higher degree of elasticity of demand. And on the other hand, if to a given change in price, the change in quantity demanded is very low or negligible, we say that it is almost inelastic or have a very lesser degree of elasticity of demand. So Now one by one we are going to discuss the different factors that affect the price elasticity of demand. In this series, the first factor comes is availability of substitutes. You need to understand very clearly these concepts. So availability of substitutes. So here, whenever we are calculating price elasticity of demand, there is a given goods in front of us, and how its quantity demanded is reacting to a change in price is the subject matter of our discussion and understanding. So just imagine a given goods we have a given goods, and now first factor is that availability of substitutes. Students, you know very well what are substitutes. If two goods X and Y, just imagine that there are two different goods X and Y. If they satisfy almost the same type of requirement, then we say both are substitute to each other. For example, the pen produced by a Renault company and the pen produced by some other company. Both are used to write something. Hence we can say that both are substitute to each other. Just as a matter of morning drink, we may take tea or we may take coffee. So in this case, tea and coffee are substitute to each other. Thus, the same way, availability of substitutes determines to a greater extent what would be the price elasticity of demand of a particular goods. That means if the goods that we have has more substitutes, then its price elasticity of demand would be higher. Why? Because the more substitutes are available, then the consumer will respond immediately whenever there is a slight change in the price. For example, if the price of tea or coffee increases or falls, then obviously the consumer of coffee and tea, they would start reacting. Hence, in this case, the price elasticity of demand of tea is high. Why? The reason is that it has substitutes. On the other hand, if there is no close substitutes of a goods, then in that case, the price elasticity of demand would be very less. For example, the medicine for cancer. There is only one available medicine for the treatment of cancer. So, whatever may be the change in its price, the patient is bound to use that medicine. Hence, in that case, the medicine of cancer has a very lower degree of elasticity of demand. Thus, we can conclude that more is the number of substitutes, higher would be the elasticity of demand, and less is the number of substitutes, lower will be the elasticity of demand. Then coming to the next point, it is nature of the commodity. When it comes to nature of the commodity, we just think about three different natures, that is whether the commodity, the goods that we have belong to luxury category or belong to comfort category or belong to necessity category. Three things coming here: luxury, comfort and necessary. So, in case of luxury, what happens if the price changes, then quantity demanded changes immediately. Means it has a higher degree of responsiveness. Thus, if the goods that we have is coming in the category of luxury, then it has a higher degree of elasticity of demand. On the other hand, if the goods that we are considering is a comfort, that means it is comfort means it increases our efficiency, but it is not highly essential, or it doesn't satisfy our ego. What happens usually? Luxuries are those goods that satisfies our ego or vanity. Then comfort are those goods that increase our efficiency, like an AC. And necessities are those goods without what we cannot manage, like life-saving drugs, like salt, all those things. So, thus luxury has a higher degree of elasticity of demand, comfort has a moderate degree of elasticity of demand, and necessities are having very lower degree of elasticity of demand. Reason being that in case of necessary, if the goods is a necessary, then whatever may be the change in its price, we have to purchase, we cannot change our demand. So in that case, the elasticity of demand is very less or almost the good is inelastic. Thus, coming to the third point, proportion of income spent on the goods. That is also yet another determinant of what would be the degree of elasticity of demand. That is, out of our total income, what is the proportion or percentage of our income, our total income that we are spending on a particular goods. That means, if a major proportion of our income is being spent on a goods, then it would have a higher degree of elasticity of demand. That means, for a little change in its price, we would severely react and change the quantity demanded. On the other hand, if out of our entire total income, we are spending a very negligible amount of our income on a particular goods, like to purchase a needle, to purchase a box of matchsticks. So here, out of our total income, we are spending a very negligible amount. So in that case, for a greater change in the price, the demand would remain almost unchanged. So in that case, what would happen? If we are spending very less proportion of our income on the purchase of a particular goods, then that good would have a very lesser degree of elasticity of demand. Thus, to conclude, higher is the proportion of income spent on a goods, higher would be the elasticity of demand, and lower is the proportion of income spent on a goods, lower would be the elasticity of demand. Then coming to the fourth point, number of uses of a commodity. See students, commodities are resources, and we know that resources are use specific. That means they have a mastery, they can do a particular work the most efficiently. But at the same time, it can be put into different uses also. Resources can be put into different uses. So in that case, if a commodity has more uses, then it would have a higher degree of elasticity of demand. On the other hand, if a commodity has only one use, then it would have a lesser degree of elasticity of demand. So more is the number of use, higher would be the elasticity of demand, and less is the number of use of a goods, less would be the elasticity of demand. Coming to the fifth point, postponement of consumption. That is, whether the goods that we are considering, its consumption can be postponed or it is quite necessary to consume right now. If the goods is such that we can postpone its consumption, then obviously it would have a higher degree of elasticity of demand. On the other hand, if the consumption of the goods cannot be postponed and we have to consume right now, then it would have a lower degree of elasticity of demand. Thus, to conclude, if consumption can be postponed, elasticity of demand would be high, and if consumption cannot be postponed, then elasticity of demand would be very low. Then the last point, habit of the consumer. So what happens, students? Sometimes the consumers become habitual in the consumption of particular goods. For example, recent in the lockdown period, I have noticed that one type of toxic pest, popularly called gudaku, or say that gutka product. Even if due to lockdown the availability became low and the price became almost double, but the consumption didn't fall. The reason being that the consumer is habitual in consumption of that particular goods. So even if the price is doubled, hardly a chain smoker would quit smoking. It would not change its consumption of cigarette. So thus, habits. If the consumption is necessary because the consumer is habitual to consume, the consumer is addicted to consume a particular goods, then in that case the elasticity of demand would be very less, and if it is not part of the habit of the consumer, the goods, it has a higher degree of elasticity of demand. So thus, these are the different factors that affects the price elasticity of demand of a particular goods or services. So this is all about price elasticity of demand. To measure, we usually use this formula, and remaining parts, so whatever you may find in your books is out of syllabus, so you have to take care of this much only. So go through the books, notes, videos, and if you are getting any query, then please consult me. Please talk to me to clarify your doubts. Thank you and have a nice day.